Brooklyn, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you coming down to the studio. First, start us off with a first question.
Yeah.
How did you get into art and what got you interested in it?
Yeah, so I started creating Indigenous art when I was 17 years old. I was so blessed to have been introduced to it by a teacher of mine, and since then, I'm 26 years old today, and I've been creating it for almost 10 years, and I just found a huge passion for using that to give back to the community in a meaningful way.
Right on. And can you talk about some of the ideas? Like, where do you get these ideas to come up with, I'm going to put my art on this item, and on this item? There's so many different varieties of different items you use.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got a lot of my inspiration growing up from very powerful women throughout my life. I had a huge passion for creating tipis. That was one of my first Indigenous art pieces I was able to create, was a tipi. It represented home, community for me, and as I got older and I listened to knowledge keepers share the importance of these tipis and how they were connected to Indigenous women and women empowerment, that was a huge passion of mine. And also the teachings that I learned from knowledge keepers and elders, and the environment and nature as well, just continuously inspired through everything around me.
Right on. And you also find ways to give back in the community. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was a young girl, I know this wasn't something that was just unique to me, but many Indigenous peoples have experienced poverty and homelessness. And myself and my family going through that, it was out of the kindness of people's hearts that really uplifted me and my family in times of need. And I grew up and really wanted to continue that and give back to others, and I donated my art to shelters and nonprofit organizations, and I'm very proud of that.
Do you have any big future projects coming up?
So right now I'm actually creating jingle dresses, healing dresses that will be donated to a family violence prevention shelter for Indigenous women and girls on their journey to healing and recovery. So I'm very proud of that one.
Awesome. And you're also very busy with your education. It looks like there's a lot of things going on there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm very proud to say that I've come from, my grandparents were residential school survivors, so they never, had the opportunities to further their education and, be celebrated for that. And, I'm proud to say I'm 26 and I graduated 5 times. I've graduated high school and college as a medical assistant, a vet assistant, a healthcare aide, and university studying Indigenous environmental leadership. So, it's not just for me, it's for our community and, for my grandparents that never had those opportunities.
And for Indigenous youth watching this right now at home, what is your message to them who are, they have big dreams, but they don't know where to start? Yeah,
so I would say, follow your dreams. Don't let anyone ever try and stop you. I believe in you. I've come from a very challenging upbringing, but I never let that, stand in my way. And, I believe that Indigenous youth have so much strength and so much power within them. Follow your dreams, and, your creativities and gifts deserve to be shared with the world.
Awesome. And finally, Brooklyn, who is your main inspiration in life?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say I'm continuously inspired by so many people. Our community, I'm so inspired by them and the strength and resilience that us as Indigenous people have carried throughout so many generations. And yeah, that's a tough question. I'm so inspired by everyone. Everyone I've met, they've offered some inspiration for me.
Awesome. Well, Brooklyn Rudolph, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.